People who work in human resources, what is the weirdest shit you have seen? Worked in HR for a couple years now, mostly for large firms managing facilities within properties. One of the strangest cases was brought about because a client asked us to review CCTV footage as he'd driven past the office late at night and noticed the motion sensor lights inside going on and off and was concerned there had been a break-in. Turned out our night security officer, whose primary role is to monitor cameras from the control room, was skipping up and down the corridors cause he felt too full of energy and had to get it out of his system somehow. Watching the footage of him skipping featuring the occasional star jump through vacant corridors for 20 minutes at 1 AM really made my day. I no longer work in HR or at this company, but it's my favorite story from my time there. Our benefits team made the decision to eliminate reserved parking as lots of employees were frustrated when they walked past dozens of empty spots in the reserved lots every day. This new policy applied to all of the company's locations. Of course, the benefits manager received hundreds of complaints in the first few days from people insisting they needed an exception for their own personal spot. The best reason by far was from one person who needed a spot close to the door because they were terrified of bobcats. No other context. We didn't have bobcats near the corporate office, so at first we thought they meant construction equipment. Turns out there actually were sightings of bobcats, like the animal, near this person's location. Last I heard they were told to arrive earlier to get a CL. My dad works in HR. He just told me about a day when they had to lay off about half of the company. It was crazy and there were a whole lot of moving parts that day. Unfortunately, in all the craziness, no one remembered to tell this one new hire that sadly the position he was hired for was no longer affordable. So he came into the office only to see everyone clearing out their desks and leaving. And then, he got laid off. An hour into his first day. He said the guy understood, but it was the most horrible he ever felt for someone in his life. Call center employee calls HR to complain about their supervisor. He's abusive. He won't even let me leave my desk. Supervisor calls HR to complain about employee. Can you please tell that she's allowed to leave her desk? Oh my god. She's shitting in her trash can. It may sound humorous, but there was significant mental issues at the heart of this. I'm not in HR, but my sister-in-law used to be one for a large Canadian tech firm. An executive at the company got very drunk at a conference in Vegas and the company got a call from the hotel saying they'd have to pay for outside contractors. He had rubbed his poop all over the walls of his hotel room and the hotel cleaning staff refused to deal with it. I work for a software development consulting company where we go onto client sites and help them develop custom software. One dude, super nice, 7-ish years of experience. Goes on to his first client with the company and all is good for about 3 weeks. Until the following happened: an increased escalation every couple of days. I don't think the manager likes me. The manager is bad mouthing me to others. The manager isn't copying me in meetings, so I don't know they're happening and miss them. The manager is taking away my completed tasks from the board, so I don't look like I am being productive. The manager is logging onto my computer remotely and reading my personal emails. The manager is changing my consulting company, not client, time cards which the manager has absolutely no access to. Essentially, it turned out that he had mental health challenges and thought the manager was sabotaging his every move on the client site. The paranoia just kept going. Unfortunately, he got kind of belligerent at the end. I hope he got the help he needed, but it was super uncomfortable. How do you tell someone that their perception isn't reality? I worked closely with HR in a call center. You'd get some crazy stuff. Guy that carried a cooler every day was wiping shit on random walls and desks. It was his shit in his cooler. We thought it was his lunch. He got caught when he wiped it on the front desk directly in sight of the camera. Another guy had a colostomy bag that he refused to empty when it got full. You would find these trails of liquid poo randomly and we had to throw out 4 chairs that he ruined. He was fired quickly and tried to claim discrimination because he was a veteran. You'd also get a crazy amount of period stains on chairs. Look, it happens, but when it's the same few people, and we have free sanitary supplies in the bathroom, you know they just don't care. I work HR for a call center. Entire company has around 500 employees, maybe 250 of them are in the call center. Entry-level work, tiny bit more than minimum wage. A girl started her first week doing really well and then week 2 got really weird. She walked into the CEO's office, on another floor in the building, while he was meeting with someone, to demand that he buy her a dog because she thought having a companion would improve her work performance. That was the entirety of her rationale. Edit, many are asking. No, she did not get the dog. I wasn't in the room with the CEO, so I don't know exactly how he handled it. He is an exceptionally nice human being, so I assume he handled it kindly. Though, I mean, it made its way back to HR pretty quick, so he definitely told some people about it. My colleague spoke with her about it and was just like, no, that's not a thing, WTF. She was fired soon after for unrelated reasons, attendance I believe. Also, many are questioning if she had some kind of mental disorder. I have no idea. I used to work in HR at a large corporation. There was a big HR back office team doing a lot of processing and data entry, including employees' bank info for their salary. It just so happened that on the same day 2 employees with the same name started, and a huge clusterfuck ensued. First, the banking information was entered for the wrong person. One of them realized and had it corrected, but the other wasn't fixed, so both salaries went to one person. The unpaid guy started refusing to come to work, but payroll said that the payment cleared and the account was in his name, so he was terminated for refusing to come to work. He kept calling and the HR support team kept misidentifying him as the other guy who was still working for us. So when they raised a ticket to get his bank information changed, they changed the info of the wrong guy. So now the guy who doesn't work for us is getting paid the salary of a guy who does. When this was finally worked out, the first guy was given his job back, but on his first day back security misidentified him and issued him a badge of the other employee. So now he was clocking hours for the other guy and not getting paid again because he never clocked in for himself. It took about 3 months for all this to be worked out. Moral of the story is use a fucking email address to identify people. Edit, yes, the employees had unique IDs. The problem was people were searching for them by name and AMP, tunnel visioning on the first result. Also, I was suggesting the email can be used to identify people face to face or over the phone. I wasn't suggesting it should be used as the primary key in a database. I work at my family's business in the industrial sector, and HR is one of the hats I wear. 2018 was insanely busy for us, so we had to hire a staffing agency to get some general labor guys in. It's a simple wax on, wax off kind of job. The most memorable part of that hectic summer was one temp that the agency sent over for third shift, midnight 8 AM. We will call him Bobby for this story. Bobby shows up wearing nothing but a pair of cargo shorts, so we had to provide pants, shirt, and steel toes. Come break time at 4, he decided to go out to the parking lot and scale the building, about 30 feet, probably climbed a tree or something, had a smoke and managed to turn the security camera away from the parking lot. Bobby then walked away from the job and went home in the uniform and boots we provided for him. We assumed he wanted to break into some of the cars, but nothing was gone. Ended up costing probably $300 for training, uniform, and just wasting our time. Our temp employee scaled the 30-foot building and played with the security cameras on his first day. Edit, employee's name. Years ago I worked HR for a retail store. A manager would always clock out on time, however the alarm wouldn't be set until about 30-45 minutes after he clocked out. Since we had a lot of trouble with internal theft, we assumed he was stealing. Loss prevention approved the installation of cameras across all stores, but we were told not to talk about it to see if we could catch any internal theft. The way the ceiling was set up, the cameras weren't too obvious, but if you knew what to look for it was quite noticeable. Anyway, turned out this dude was banging a coworker who was 16. He was 25, expecting his first child with his wife. I didn't see the footage, but our regional manager of loss prevention did and had to turn it over to the police. The real kicker is the girl's dad was a captain on said police force. Edit, I'm not sure what happened to the guy, unfortunately. I didn't sit in when LP interviewed him. According to my district manager, the authorities were notified, but I'm not sure if he was arrested after the interview was finished. We weren't allowed to discuss what happened, but word got around. This was in Texas and the age of consent is 17, and the female had just turned 16 a few months prior. As for her, she officially resigned and last I heard she became a nurse. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified when I upload. Have a great day.